I'm Sujay, a Feng Shui intuitive here to empower you with ancient Feng Shui knowledge. Today, we're going to talk about my favorite Feng Shui magical tool, the mirror. We all have mirrors in our home, but are they placed correctly? Because mirrors are actually very powerful energetic tool when used correctly. They can enhance and activate the energy of your home, but if you're not, they can really create energetic imbalances. So today, I'm going to share the magical powers of mirror first, and then we'll go through 5 places where you can use the mirror to activate your home and also 5 places to avoid for peace and harmony. So let's go. So, what exactly is mirror in Feng Shui? Number one, simple terms. Energetically, mirrors are energetic portals. Yes, energetic portals. Now, don't get scared by that word. There's nothing to be scared about or confused about. You see, we live in a multi-dimensional world. We currently are experiencing life in the third dimension, but there are infinite possibilities and layers of energy beyond what we can physically see. And mirrors energetically help us to expand that perceptions of space. When you look into a mirror, you're seeing a reflection of another versions of reality through that surface. Of course, we cannot physically enter through the mirror because we experience life through our current dimension. But energetically, mirrors create an expansion of space and go beyond our third dimension. Think about it. A whole other world can fit inside that little surface, right? Because of this quality, mirrors can be used energetically to create that distance. For example, a perfect use for this is to place one outside the bathroom door. You have a bathroom facing your desk. Placing a mirror on the bathroom door can energetically push that space and energy away. Number two, mirrors are like powerful amplifiers. They double what they reflect. This is a beautiful concept unless you accidentally start reflecting something that you don't want to amplify, like dirty dishes, clutters, or chaotic areas of your home. It's such a magical way of magnifying the things that you want more of in your space. Number three, mirrors can also redirect energy. They help to guide the flow of energy within your space. Have you ever noticed that when you walk into a room with a mirror, your attention naturally goes towards it? That's because mirrors pull and guide our awareness. So next time you enter into a space with a mirror, pay attention to where your energy naturally moves. Mirrors are not just decorations. In Feng Shui, they're energetic tools that can expand, reflect, and redirect and transform the energy of your home. So let's talk about 5 places to avoid the mirror. Number one, directly in front of the entrance. Have you ever walked into a space with the very first thing being a mirror in front of you? What happens naturally? Your attention goes directly to the mirror instead of the rest of the space. In Feng Shui, we often see this as an energy entering the space and being pushed away rather than being welcomed and gathered and allowed to circulate in that space. This can translate to an opportunities and monies coming in, but somehow leaving just as quickly. I once worked with a client who wanted to place a large mirror directly facing the front door of their studio. I, of course, advised against it, but they felt strongly that the mirror would protect the space by keeping the negative energies out. And this is actually something that I see often, people wanting mirrors to act like a shield or a protection tool. But this is a lesson I always share, that the mirror doesn't only push back what they don't want, a mirror pushes out everything. Yes, it may redirect the energy of what they don't want in the space, but it can also redirect the positive energies and opportunities and abundance that wants to flow into their lives. The studio has so much potential, but it never really seemed to take off the way they really hoped for. Of course, Feng Shui is not about creating fear around objects or saying that one placement determines everything. Our spaces are deeply personal, and sometimes the lessons we discover through our own experiences can be just as powerful as the guidance that we receive. Number two, don't place a mirror in your bedroom, especially the oversized ones. And of course, definitely not facing the bed. Remember when I mentioned that the mirrors are like portals? Once I became very aware of this concept, it became impossible for me to sleep comfortably with the mirror facing me. Not only did I start noticing how more open and active the energy felt in the room, but honestly, I just didn't like the feeling of being exposed or being watched while I'm sleeping. This feeling becomes even more stronger for me when I stay in hotels. Think about it. Those mirrors are constantly reflecting different people, different emotions, and different experiences coming in and out of that room. I always joke about how it must be like watching endless episodes of a show for the energy that passes through. So personally, I just cover it with a large towel or sheet when I'm traveling now. Another reason mirror in the bedroom can be uncomfortable is because mirrors double what they reflect. This is why mirror facing the bed are traditionally associated with inviting the third person into the relationship. I know many people may dismiss this as superstition, but to me, mirrors are not just decorative objects. And after seeing numerous examples in my own practice, I cannot ignore the patterns that I observe. There have been many times when I advise clients to move the mirror away from facing the bed, and some choose not to. And 10 out of 10, those relationships always came to an end. Of course, mirror is not the only reason that the relationship ended, but merely a reflection of what was happening in their own private lives. So, unless you're intentionally wanting to bring more people into your intimate relationship dynamic, I recommend keeping the mirrors out of the bedroom and reflecting the bed. Mirrors also bounce and activate the energy, which can create more stimulation in your bedroom. So if you're someone who are very sensitive and needing calm, quiet, grounding energy to rest, mirror may not belong in that bedroom. Many homes built in 60s and 80s came with a full mirrored closet, and I highly recommend to get rid of them or at least cover them. You can use the curtains, removable wallpapers, or even peelable paint options now to allow to transform the space without permanent renovation. So get creative. Your bedroom should feel like a sanctuary, a place where the energy can settle, restore, and feel completely peaceful while you're sleeping. By the way, large TV also act like a mirror with their reflective surface, so be aware. So number 3, mirrors facing the bathroom. Bathrooms have a strong energy of release and drainage. I call it energetic black hole of our homes. So when a mirror reflects the bathroom, it can symbolically amplify this energy, pulling all your home's vital energy. And honestly, bathroom is not the most beautiful space to amplify in your home. Well, never say never because I've seen very beautiful bathroom, but this does not make it into an exception. All bathroom is still a black hole of your home. So why should we double that, right? Number 4, facing another mirror. I have seen spaces that have multiple mirrors facing each other, and let me tell you, it's an energetic hot mess. Have you ever walked into those fun house mirror room? It's meant to make you confused and maybe entertaining or fun for a while, but for a home, no, 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 no. Mirrors reflecting mirrors create an endless reflection. From an energetic perspective, this can create a lot of movement and repetitions and plain out loud chaos. Instead of feeling grounded, the space can feel busy and overly active. Whenever I see this happening in anyone's home, I just know that they're going through a real scenarios in their lives or they're about to experience something intense. Funny story, I noticed that the people who have mirrors this way in their home often do not realize that this is out of balance. They're often the people who have been dealing with lots of up and downs and challenges in their whole lives and often see these intense experiences as just part of their lives. But 100% of the times when clients refuse to fix this in their home, their lives reflect the same scattered and intense energy. Number 5, reflecting clutter, sharp corners, and negative energy. Remember, mirrors amplify what they reflect. We want to make sure that we're reflecting what we want more of, not the opposite. A beautiful garden, artwork, or meaningful objects can be wonderful to reflect, but if the mirror is constantly reflecting clutter, messy areas, or something that feels uncomfortable, like cactus, you're doubling that visual and energetic message. And how about knives on the magnetic wall? I am so embarrassed to say that I've done this before and learned the lesson the hard way. So let me just clarify that the mirror itself is never bad. Mirrors are just powerful tools that can really make or break your space according to how you use it. So the question is, what is this mirror reflecting? And is it something that you want to amplify in your life? And use the mirrors intentionally to bring that beauty and light and expansion into your home, not more chaos or stimulations. So, enough with word or void. Now, let's talk about how to use the mirror intentionally to activate more abundance and beauty and positive energy. So, here's my 5 placement. Number 1, stove. Your stove is one of the most important areas in Feng Shui because it represents wealth, nourishment, and creation. It's where the raw ingredients transform into something that supports life, enjoyment, and connection. The fire element in our home also represents manifestation, the ability to create and bring something into reality. So, if you can place the mirror to reflect that stove, this can be a beautiful way to symbolically double that wealth and nourishment energy. Just remember though, mirrors amplify what they reflect. If the stove is messy, neglected, or covered with clutter, the mirror is also reflecting that. So keep your stove clean, cared for, and loved. It is one place where abundance is created in your home. Number 2, dining room. This is another one of my favorite placement for the mirror. The dining room represents nourishment, gathering, family, and connection. So the mirror reflecting the dining room table can symbolically double the food, the joy, the experience shared in the space. I especially love a large mirror where it can make the room feel very expansive. Imagine reflecting a beautiful meal, flowers, candles, and the people that you love gathering together. That is the kind of energy I want to amplify. Number 3, the entryway, but not directly facing the door. The entryway is where the energy enters your home, right? The mirror here can expand the feeling of space, bring in more light, and creating more welcoming atmosphere, like having a full arm wide open for the energy to enter. But the key is placement. Avoid placing it directly across from the front door because you do not want to push that energy back out. Place it on the side where you can expand the space to support that ease of flow and for grand entrance. Number 4, dark or stagnant area. Mirrors can be wonderful tools for space that feels heavy, small, or stagnant. Think about it: dark hallways, awkward corners, areas where energy feels stuck. A well placed mirror here can really create that movement and openness. But remember, mirrors do not create energy by itself. They reflect and enhance what is already there. So pair it up with something that you want more of, like beautiful lighting, plants, flowers, or meaningful artwork. So get creative. Number 5, creating energetic distance. Now, this one is where you can have fun and get creative. Mirrors are not only used to amplify, they can also be used symbolically to create that energetic distance and boundaries. So let me share how I use this personally. I once had a neighbor who lived right next door that was constantly creating mess outside on our shared entrance. So after cleaning after them for about a year, I finally had my feng shui moment, and I placed a small mirror as a symbolic way of reflecting that energy back and creating that energetic distance. A couple months later, they moved out. I remember feeling such a huge sense of relief, and I honestly felt like the biggest witch. Again, I do not see mirror as a magical object that controls people's actions. To me, mirrors allowed me to create that enough of an energetic distance from them so that it eventually created a scenario where they were no longer part of my environment. Another way you can use this idea: if you share a wall with the neighbor that you want some distance, you can place a small mirror on that wall with the reflective side facing that wall. Is it the neighbor above you? You can place it on the ceiling. Is it the neighbor beneath you? Then you can place one on the floor with the intention of creating peaceful distance. Always, always with the loving, peaceful intention, please. So that's my 5 places to avoid and 5 places to use mirrors intentionally in your home. I hope this helped you to understand the deeper symbolism and energy of mirrors. I would love to hear from you. How would you use your mirror in your home? Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It truly supports me in creating more content like this. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.